Have you ever felt as if you were abandoned in the midst of a sea of people, as if all the joy and all the laughter resounded around you, yet your heart was filled only with loneliness and despair? Perhaps, in those dark moments, you felt like a tiny speck of dust in the vast universe, with no one to share your pain, no one to understand and console you. But listen, because even in those moments when you feel most stuck, there is a sacred power waiting to be awakened, ready to explode and illuminate your path. Imagine that instead of sinking into loneliness, you could turn those moments into a launching pad to draw closer to the Almighty, a source of inspiration that transcends all human limitations. Remember that, no matter how many challenges life may bring, no matter if you feel your heart is shattered in the midst of the storm of solitude, God is always with you, ready to support you and give wings to your dreams. The great men in the Bible, such as Jesus, King David, Job, Apostle Paul, and John the Baptist, once experienced such dark moments that there was no one to share with. But it was precisely in that solitude that they discovered the hidden strength within and were forged into shining examples, becoming a great source of motivation for all humanity. Perhaps your loneliness is not a sign of failure, but rather God's invitation for you to return to yourself, to discover the true values of life and transform it into a wondrous journey, a vibrant spiritual adventure. Begin with those moments when you wake up in silence, when all the noise around you seems to be muted and only the steady beat of your heart remains. That is when you have the opportunity to listen to the call of the Almighty, to feel His presence through prayer, through the pages of the Bible that you open. Imagine Jesus, in the midst of a noisy and bustling life, knew how to retreat to quiet places, where only the sound of the wind, the falling rain, and the echoes of stillness resounded, to connect deeply with the Father in heaven. He was not afraid of loneliness, because he understood that in silence the soul is renewed, is given strength to face every storm of life. And today, God also wishes to invite you to step out of the darkness of loneliness, so that you may feel His love and protection, transforming loneliness into steadfast inner strength. If you are confused, if you wonder, why must I endure this loneliness? Know that it is not a punishment, but a sacred season appointed to refine you. Perhaps you feel that you do not truly have friends, that there is no one to listen to and share your feelings. But look back at the examples of the heroes in the Bible. Moses lived 40 years in the wilderness before being called to lead the people of Israel. David once experienced solitary days tending sheep before becoming a mighty king. Apostle Paul, after his conversion, spent time in the Arabian desert to refine his faith. Their loneliness was not a sign of failure, but a stepping stone that led them to greater things. Therefore, if you feel left out, believe that it might be the way God is shaping you, preparing you for a special mission, a role that only by experiencing loneliness can you discover your true strength and worth. However, on the journey of facing loneliness, there is one major challenge you need to overcome. That is the emotion of bitterness. When betrayed, when loved ones or friends abandon you, it is easy for your heart to become bitter, full of resentment and sadness. Remember that bitterness is like a seed that slowly sprouts, gradually destroying your heart, causing you to become cold and distant from the world. Draw inspiration from Job, who lost everything, from his family, wealth to the trust of those around him. But instead of letting the pain turn him into a barren land, Job clung tightly to his faith, refusing to let resentment take over his mind. According to the Lord's words in Matthew 6:14, "For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you." Forgiveness is not only a noble act of compassion, but also the key that opens the door to liberation, helping you overcome the pain and regain peace in your heart. Be bold enough to let go of the negative, give your heart the chance to heal, and allow God's love to spread, turning your pain into strength so that you may continue onward. At the same time, recognize that loneliness can also be a sacred calling, inviting you to embark on a journey of deep self-discovery. Do not let the feeling of isolation make you feel undervalued or unworthy. Reflect that perhaps now is the time for you to rediscover yourself, to unearth those dreams and passions that the noisy society had made you forget. When you spend time alone, use it to ask the big questions. What do I truly desire? How shall I live to honor God and myself? The answers may come from the pages of the Bible, from the teachings of the prophets, or from your own personal experiences. Remember the words of John the Baptist, who spent most of his life in the wilderness, separated from the clamor to prepare for his great mission. Perhaps your loneliness is not a pointless sorrow, but a time for you to train your faith, to learn to listen, to become stronger and ready for the greater challenges that await. On that journey, be careful not to fall into the trap of sin. Without sincere friends to support you, sometimes loneliness can make you easily succumb to temptations such as unhealthy desires, laziness, or even self-destructive behaviors. Take the example of King David, a man who witnessed God's miraculous power, yet also once fell into temptation when loneliness surrounded him. The absence of wholesome relationships can leave you feeling lost, easily drawn into a dark path. Therefore, build for yourself a solid spiritual life through prayer, studying the Bible, and seeking the companionship of like-minded people. If you feel weak, remember that in your most challenging moments, God is always ready to grant you strength and guidance to overcome every temptation. Moreover, even if you feel that you have no friends, you can still become a source of love and a true friend to others. Loneliness sometimes makes you focus solely on your own pain, but that can be an opportunity for you to open your heart and share love with those around you. Look at the image of Jesus. Even though he suffered betrayal, abandonment, and even cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" on the cross, he never stopped reaching out to help, always seeking and rescuing the lost. In Luke 19:10 he said, "For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." This is not only a promise, but also an encouragement. You can be the one who brings hope to someone. You can be the friend you always longed for. Someone who, even if not receiving attention, can still give love and sincere sharing. Open your heart. Be ready to listen and share. Because when you help others, God will bestow upon you blessings and comfort beyond all expectation. If you feel that these words have touched your heart, do not forget to hit subscribe on the channel and share the message so that together we can spread faith and love. Finally, always remember that no matter how many challenges you face, no matter if you feel so lonely that no one understands, God is always by your side. There are moments when you see people leaving, when relationships fade and it seems no one is willing to accompany you. But remember, your Creator has never abandoned you. As the Apostle Paul said in 2 Timothy 4:16-17, "The Lord stood by me and gave me strength," and that is not only a comfort, but a steadfast promise that in your hardest times you will always be upheld by Him. In Deuteronomy 31:6 we are instructed, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." And in Psalm 27:10, "Even if your parents forsake you, God will always receive you." These words serve as a lamp shining in the darkness, reminding you that you have never been alone, that every step you take is marked in the great plan of His. Looking back on your life's journey, you might ask yourself whether this loneliness is a burden or merely a chapter in your spiritual growth. Perhaps, like the great figures in the Bible, loneliness is not the end but a stepping stone that leads you to wonderful things in the future. Perhaps your loneliness is protecting you from toxic relationships or preparing you for a major turning point in life where your value does not depend on the approval of others, but lies in a deep relationship with the Creator. Embrace this challenging season with all your faith. Allow yourself to be refined with every moment of solitude so that you will eventually realize that in those moments you are being prepared to shine and bring hope to the world. If you feel weak, remember that this is not the end of your story, but only a part of your transformation journey. Stand up, hold fast to your faith, and let loneliness become a powerful drive that propels you forward. Spend time in prayer, in meditation, in studying God's Word, for that is how you can overcome every storm and find comfort from the undying light. If you feel these words have touched your heart, act today. Subscribe to the channel, share this video, and let us together spread the message that even in moments of solitude, God is always with you, always bestowing blessings and watching over your every step. Finally, let loneliness no longer be a burden, but a source of inspiration to make you stronger, so that you know your true worth does not depend on the number of people around you, but lies in a sacred relationship with the Creator. Believe that, even in the darkest moments, the light of faith will guide you, and every pain, every challenge will become the building blocks that form you. A brave person, full of hope and always ready to face any difficulty. Remember that life is not only a series of joys and successes, but also precious lessons from moments of suffering and loneliness. It is precisely these moments that will teach you to cherish every happiness, every sincere love. If you feel that this message has ignited within you a flame of passion and inner strength, act today. Let your faith spread, become an inspiration to those around you, and always remember that you are never alone on this journey. Subscribe to the channel, share this video, and together let us build a community full of love and hope, where every person is cherished and every heart is given wings to soar. Finally, believe that no matter how many hardships you experience, no matter how overwhelming loneliness may be, the Creator is always by your side, always granting you strength and faith to move forward. Let the wounds of the past become evidence of the victory of faith, and let every mark on your life's path be a testament to the boundless love of God. You are never truly alone. Every moment, every second is woven into the grand story of your life. Open your heart wide, hold fast to your faith, and turn loneliness into the strength that carries you into a future full of hope, blessings, and the miracles that only faith can bring.